Second.
Okay, hi, everybody. Let's do the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our guests. Let's join our hearts together in a word of prayer. On this beautiful fall day, oh God, we give you thanks for drawing us together, for the many ways in which you nourish us, guide us. We give you thanks. Continue to work with us as we find ways to share our heart and our hands with the world in need. We're so thankful for the many ways in which our Lions Club reaches out to serve the needs of so many. For all this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. All right, let's have some.
Yeah.
Ready. All right, hi, everybody. We got a few things going today, so I'm gonna rattle through some business, and then we've got guests and we've got a great speaker. So I'm gonna get through my portion and get to the good stuff. Just a few announcements. October 15th tonight, Kids Food Basket. I know we're supposed to RSVP to Shara. I'm guessing if you're here and haven't RSVP and you want to, you can probably tell Kelly. I know Cheryl sent out an email about that maybe yesterday. I think they're in need of a few more numbers. So if you're free tonight and want to help out at Kids Food Basket, that'd be great. Later this week, October 17th, is Projects Night at Rockford Sportsman's Club. We are also gathering, I see a couple bags around the Color for a Cure, donating crayons and coloring books and things like that for the kids at Ronald McDonald Charity House. If you happen to have those, you can drop them off at Projects Night on Thursday or get them to Cheryl or anybody else that's going to Projects Night. Cherry Health Celebration, October 23rd. And then next month's service project is at Flat River Outreach Ministries in Lowell, and Usman is the contact on that one. Usman's not, I guess he's not here. Oh, he is there. There he is. Hey, Usman. I know, that's why I couldn't. I thought he had to be here. And let's see what else. December 7th, kids holiday shopping. Don, did you want to speak on?
Yeah, December 7th, holiday shopping at Myers again. I know several of you last week or last week ago, I sent this around, and also the box. If we get more contributions, we can maybe take one or two more kits. So I'll send these around, and please sign up when you get a chance. And we need more volunteers because we used to have the Grand Valley State Lions that is no longer, and they used to help quite a bit. There used to be 15 or 20 kids from that. So bring your spouse, your kids, grandkids, whatever, if you can, and it's a good time. You'll enjoy it.
Thank you, Don. And speaking of, I know we got a generous donation for that program, and we'll be presenting an award at the next meeting for that as well. So stay tuned on that. Another item I wanted to mention was parking. So we got the parking pass situation figured out. So you get a ticket when you park in the structure over here, and then the validation for that ticket is a little sticky note. It's down at the end of the bar here. There's a big empty space in the middle of your parking ticket, and you take one of these little barcode stickies and put it right in the middle, and that's your parking validation to get out of there. So I presume at this point every week we'll just kind of have a sheet of those stickers over there for people to use. With that, anything I'm missing? Anybody else have any items to discuss for the good of the club? I know Cheryl just passed around another project for our district. If you have trouble making it to events like me in the evenings, this is one that you can do at home. It's holiday cards for veterans. And so if you take a look at your table, there should be a flyer about that. Anybody, anything else? Gary?
Usman had an announcement on his event. One of the buses. October 16th.
Oh, it's Gary's idea. we will be doing, our bike on the 16th from from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll be riding 50 miles, so if you're interested in signing up and being on there, that'll be great. Just contact Gary and me.
November 6th.
November though, right? Not October?
Yeah.
Awesome. Great, that's great. And for those that don't know, we did kind of a ribbon cutting ceremony with the tandem bike, which, well, the tandem bike's probably gone now. I'm not sure if it's still, oh, it is out here. It's outside. It's outside of the bike rack. And so if you want to take a look at that, and there's probably going to be some photos in the NUDA upcoming. But it's here and it's quite nice. So how about guests?
Well, Alliance, I'd like to introduce the guest line, Tom Short.
Hello, everybody.
Anybody else?
Tim does.
Here's my guest, Tom Flynn from Mary Free Bed, and Tom was gracious enough to help get the bike here today, so.
We did not ride it here. We had to deliver it, nobody picked it up at 1:30, but Usman and I took it around Grand Rapids for a little bit last week. Just make sure it was good.
Didn't want to get it dirty before the photo.
Yeah. So and actually, Usman, do you want to tell about what we're setting up? Monday was discussed. Okay.
So I'll introduce my guest, Laura. She works at Mary Free Bed and helps give us money.
I raise dollar bills. I work for the Mary Free Bed Foundation, which is the fundraising entity for Mary Free Bed Rehabilitation Hospital, in particular, wheelchair and adaptive support. So it's been a pleasure working with Gary and all of the Lions Club. Thank you so much for your generosity in providing the tandem bike that will not only serve the blind and low vision community, but also many patients that are served by Mary Free Bed. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to take a look at the bike on their way out, if you go out this way, it's just right out over here. You can probably see it through that window. I'm not sure. If you can. So thank you for the guests, and Jamie is not here, so I'm gonna have Gary be the tail twister today.
So I'll fill in a couple of blanks on the bike event on the 16th of November. We've already purchased the bike. The Grand Rapids Lions Club have purchased the bike, so that bike is custom made. You might wonder, what does it cost for a bike like that? Well, it's $14,500. And it's a very, very, very sturdy bike. Usman and I were on it and it didn't wiggle at all. So it's very well made and can take a lot of traffic and a lot of use, which is what it's intended for. The plan is for anybody that's visually impaired to be able to ride it. And what's really great, which I didn't realize till I rode it today with Usman, was you sit side by side. If you've ever ridden a tandem bike, you're front and back, okay? Well, the person in the back can talk and the person in the front can hear, but it doesn't go the other way around, right? So we were able to ride and converse back and forth and spend some time together. So besides the exercise and the ability to get out and ride, it was a lot of fun because we just got to talk. Or Usman just said, Gary, quit talking. So we have purchased the bike, but the plan is to try to raise funds with the help of other Lions Clubs in the district. So this is a district-wide project to do this bike ride for 50 miles. We'd like to have a different rider with him every 2.5 miles. So every 2.5 miles, have somebody there that we can swap seats. He can get his breath, because Usman's riding the whole way. Originally, we were gonna do 100 miles, but we didn't want to kill him. That was his goal, to ride 100 miles, right, Usman? Wasn't it?
Yes.
It was your goal, so he'd be downgrading to 50. He'd be riding all day if we did 100 miles. So Gary, where is it? Well, we were gonna do it at Millennium Park, but they close October 30th. So we're looking at doing it on Meyer Trail, Fred Meyer Trail. We haven't laid it out yet.
Not the White Pine Trail.
Not the White Pine.
Okay, that's my trail up near, Alma.
Well, well, it goes by Rockford, but we'll give you the location of that. Okay? So the idea is to have other Lions clubs to get volunteers to do that. Also for them to have grants and raise money. pledges for that also, so we can, then pay for the bike, which we paid for. And, we'll get the other clubs to help do that, so. Anything else you want to add to that, Usman?
Tom can give you a little information on how you can, or how to do the sign up for the next one.
Yeah, so starting on next Monday, from Monday and Wednesdays from 2 to 4 p.m., starting at the ABBI office, we're having 30-minute guided rides. So I'll be the pilot, and then people can sign up to ride for that 30 minutes. And we, kind of go around like Wealthy, Lafayette, that area. Usman and I checked it out a little bit. So that email, I'll send it to Usman later today, and then we'll send it out to our database for our vision impaired people that are in our database so that they can sign up. And I've already talked to a couple of them about it. They say, hey, we're gonna do 2 to 4 Mondays and Wednesdays for like 4 weeks.
And the fundraising for it should be easier because we're gonna use ABBI's site where they can go right in. And donate right straight there. And you just identify, okay, it's from the Cedar Springs line or wherever it's from. So it'll be an easy way to do fundraising. So we won't have to do a lot of tabulating ourselves. It'll right through their site. Also on the tickets, did anybody forget to bring in your ticket? Y'all brought in your tickets? Okay, take the orange piece and put a tag on it. You know that? Okay.
Pink.
What?
I think it's pink.
Dear, you're colorblind. You don't know when it's orange.
Deb says it's pink.
Okay, then it's pink. Okay, yes,
Wait, so where will they be stored? They can be stored at ABB?
it is a bike.
Right.
Yeah.
But if we're fundraising for a second.
No, you're fundraising for this one.
Oh, I thought you said
We
you guys.
paid for it, but we paid for it so that it could be bought. They could be made. They wouldn't make it until we paid for it.
Oh.
Okay, so you have to prepay it. You
Okay.
can't just order it because it's custom made.
Okay, well, that helps clarify
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Where's the bike stored?
It'll be at the Mary Free Bed, that storage location 425 Jefferson.
Okay.
Great question. Okay. So we'll have more information on how to access it and for people to take part, to sign up to be able to use it. So tail twisting. I'm not gonna pick on anybody for pins, but any happy bucks. You have to have happy bucks.
Nobody's happy.
Okay, which one? Go ahead. Okay, get it.
Once you go on it.
What do you got?
So happy buck, so
Ooh, that's big. That's 5.
I know it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so about 2 weeks ago, my daughters had eye surgeries and it went great. They are doing good, so. Yeah.
You want to tell them why they had surgeries?
Sure.
They'd probably like to know.
Yeah, the eye surgery, so I have cataracts and glaucoma, it's genetic. So my 1.5-year-old left eye pressure was 45. So she had surgery, they like, a laser surgery in her eye, because normally it should be like 10 to 21 eye pressure. So it dropped from 45 back to normal, like 18. Right now, so, yeah.
That's great.
Ooh. Trip over my own bag.
I mean, happy buck, I got to ride with Usman today. That was a lot of fun. Anything else? Steve?
Saturday, I will be viewing my oldest grandson in competing against Michigan State. It's University of Michigan in their first rowing competition.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, the Nobel Prize for Chemistry came out. And the guy that won it was a professor from University of Washington. Where my grandson is getting his PhD and he's working on the team that helped him get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Very true.
And chemistry was your strong point, right?
Oh, no. He graduated cum laude from University of Colorado Boulder in biochemical engineering,
there.
which I don't even understand even that much. My fingers are tight.
All right, raffle, who's gonna draw? we'll have our guest draw.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so the first one gets $5.
624-768.
768.
Oh, that's.
Who's that?
Kyle.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one. Don.
That's 44871.
All right.
See if you get the Nobel Prize. There's the white one. I'm not giving you the white one.
I gotta read it again?
Yeah, you gotta read it.
Got a piece of gum on it.
All right. So close.
Today's speaker is Deb Davis from Lions of Michigan All-State Band. I think Gary's gonna maybe give a little color on some history of the band.
A little color. Who's ever heard of the Lions of Michigan All-State Band? Who knows what they do? Well, they play music. Lions of Michigan All-State Band started in 1978. Okay, there's a few of you who weren't born yet. Just a few, but it is, and Deb will explain the collection of the members of the band, but the band, the big event that they do is they march in the Lions International Parade at the International Convention. So when you think about a parade where there's 30,000 people at a convention, you've got 200 countries represented in the parade, all in their native garb, and you've got your band playing there. It's pretty exciting when you get to experience that. And having seen the band in earlier years, they were tremendous. When we hit COVID, it was a big decrease, and the band pretty much fizzled out. 3 years ago, Deb Davis came in, and Deb has been a Lion for how many years in Rockford? 11 years, and she's a dynamo. She's been the past cabinet secretary. She's the past president of her club, treasurer, everything else, executive secretary, CEO for the band, and they've rebuilt it. The last 2 years, we saw 30 kids in the band a year ago. This year in Melbourne, I don't know, they had 45 kids performing in the band, and they rocked it. They were amazing. So Deb, please come up and tell us about the band and how we can be involved, how we can maybe get our students to be involved.
Well, Gary just saved the first 2 pages of my presentation, so. Hang on just 1 second.
Redo it, and then it's gonna be. Yeah.
Of course, this was all ready to go. Cheryl just shut off again.
No.
I think we just need to power it back in. That one's full. Is this one powered? Well, this is.
It's
Is
on.
that good? Oh, excellent. Seriously, we had this all set up. I just love it when electronics think they know more than we do. They're right, but they don't need to explain it like this. Okay, so we'll let that warm up and come to its senses. Hopefully, yes, okay, good. So good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, let me kind of edit through here with everything that Gary just said. So page, no. The Lions of Michigan All-State Band serves the world through music. And our group, as Gary mentioned, is predominantly comprised of high school students from around the state of Michigan. Wide variety of school districts and backgrounds, and we have a united common cause, which is to play music for those who need to hear it most. The Lions of Michigan All-State Band was formed in 1978 to accompany the then incoming Lions International President Ralph Lynham, who was a member of the St. John's, Michigan Lions Club. Since its inception, the band has attended and performed at the annual Lions International Convention and marched in the Lions International Parade each year with thousands of delegates in attendance. Additionally, while touring, the band also plays at orphanages, children's hospitals, veterans' homes, and the like, to bring the gift of music to as many people as possible. Now, personally, as Gary mentioned, I am an 11-year Lion, but my professional background is a 25-year career at Paws with a Cause in fundraising, marketing, and public relations. And in my position at Paws, I worked with many, if not all, Lions clubs throughout the state of Michigan. And Lions members always impressed me with their passion for service. So that's why I became a proud member of the Rockford Lions Club. As for musical experience, as I was telling Kelly before, I'm a former, not current, former clarinet player and all through high school, and was a 4-year member of the Marching Chippewas at Central Michigan University as well. Fire up, Chips. Music and band have been strong components of my educational experience, and the friendships and leadership skills that I've gained through band are definitely a part of who I am today. My duties for the Lions of Michigan All-State Band include helping to recruit musicians, to plan the band's travel itinerary each year, and to promote the band in all Lions forums. Luckily, I get to chaperone the trips as well. Students from over 300 Michigan high schools and communities have participated in the band over the years since it took its first marching step, and now annually averages 45 to 75 students each year. The number of students is on the rise, and the band has now set its sights on achieving a goal of more than 150 high school musicians in uniform. Being part of the All-State Band provides the students with wonderful travel opportunities. The year after COVID found us traveling to Boston and creating many memories together. Let's hope this works. Each one of those students that you saw in that video had to audition for our band and/or if they received a level 1 rating at their district solo and ensemble, we took that as enough accreditation for them to be a musician with the band. So 2 years ago, we also did right after COVID, we started to do in-person video, or excuse me, auditions again. Nobody showed up. So we took the hint and we have now moved to all online auditions. Last year, we traveled to Melbourne, Australia, and this year we have pivoted and are finalizing the details of our itinerary to Orlando. While travel is a very large part of the student's experience, being a member of the Lions Band provides many more development opportunities as well. The students have access to the highest quality music education to contribute to long-term musical growth and to return to their high school bands with strong performance experience. Our 3 directors are all current high school music directors in their respective school districts and together have more than 50 years of experience shaping the lives of high school students in today's world. The students have adventure across the world to develop a better social and cultural understanding of the world in which we live and to increase each student's appreciation of that diversity. The students develop stronger social skills with each other and with the world by interacting with fellow band members from varying backgrounds and developing lifelong friendships. One of my best friends from college, I had no idea she was in Lions Band until I started this. And then come to find out all 4 of their one brother and 2 sisters, they all 4 were in Lions Band, and she and her sister are some of my best friends today. As far as the social growth, many of you might have heard, if you've still got kids in school like Kelly or maybe grandkids in school, COVID did a number on these kids with their social skills, not only academic, they can do academia online, but their social skills. And we are definitely seeing that in the band. Now going into our 3rd year, that first year back, nobody would talk to each other. The kids wouldn't talk to each other. So we were actually having band camp at the Lions Bear Lake camp. And I asked the executive director if we could do some ice-breaking games, different things. You throw the ball to somebody, they say their name, where they're from, the next person, just simple things that we don't even think about because we were not brought up in that environment of being, a detached. And these kids formed bonds like they never knew they could because they came out of their shell. They did these exercises. They laughed with each other. They played music together. So they really, really get a great social development as well. In fact, one student, I think it was the first year we were back, stopped our directors at the end of rehearsal one day and said that he was so happy for this opportunity to be part of the band. He said being social was very, very hard for him, and he had made just 2 friends that day, and he was very, very happy about that. The students are introduced to the Lions model of We Serve. They experience the personal satisfaction of providing joy to those in need by performing music. And our itinerary for Orlando for 2025 will include a lot of service work for the band in the hurricane hit areas of North Carolina. You might think, well, it's pretty early to arrange all of that. We've all seen the news reports and things on Facebook and posts from people we know that people are down there. They're going to need help for a very, very long time. So our plan is to work with the Lions of North Carolina to arrange a few days of assistance down there and to possibly deliver a performance there on our way down to Orlando. Each trip that the band goes on is priced out to include a 3-day pre-trip band camp and to include all expenses that are necessary on the trip. Students fundraise in various ways to pay for their trip, including soliciting donations from their local Lions clubs. The ballpark cost for this year's trip to Orlando is between $2,500 and $2,800 per student. We appreciate any and all donations that are received for the Lions of Michigan All-State Band. The band itself uses donations to our operation account to maintain all of our musical equipment and to provide the musical selections for each tour and to support the musicians in any way we can. I say that in a variety of ways. On tour, people lose mouthpieces, reeds. We actually had an injury last year in Australia, so we had to jump into a pharmacy and buy a wheelchair and crutches and a walker. If I didn't have the funds available to do that, not many of the kids coming on the trip would have been able to pop out $500 for this medical equipment. I was very, very glad that we were able to help. I can't tell you the other things I've bought on trips. It would be kind of confidentiality, but let me tell you, there are things that teenagers need. So, one point that I want to make out, we provide all of these things and use those donations. However, our staff, our board of directors and district chairpersons, including myself, are all volunteers. So nothing goes to staffing overhead. We look to Lions Club's members not only for financial support, but also for assistance in spreading the word. I've already recruited Kelly to help me spread the word down in Byron Center band program there, but our word and our need for help for musicians. Our auditions for the 2025 trip to Orlando are open, and we invite you to help us by sharing our posts on Facebook. It's very simple, Lions of Michigan All-State Band. You go on, you follow us, you help us by sharing our posts and letting people that you know know that our need is for musicians. So this is one thing that we've recently put together.
One more, please. There's you. Thank you. Thank you.
Are you ready for an adventure unlike any other? Next summer, the Lions of Michigan All-State Band is heading to Orlando, Florida, and we want you to join us. We're looking for high school musicians who are passionate about music and are ready to serve the world through their musical talents. Best of all, you'll explore everything Orlando has to offer and create incredible memories and lifelong friendships along the way. So if it's adventure you crave and music you love, the Lions of Michigan All-State Band is exactly who you've been searching for. Visit our website and submit your audition today. Welcome to Lions Band. Welcome to adventure.
Will they be going to Disney World?
Yes.
Yep. Here, I think I killed your mind.
Nope, there we are, and we're back. Yes, they will be going to Disney World. So we just posted this on our Facebook page yesterday. It's on our YouTube channel. Help us out by sharing that post, and you never know how widespread your simple act of sharing or watching something can go. The Lions of Michigan All-State Band is a great opportunity for these high school musicians to broaden their understanding of the world and of the people in it. We are very grateful for the support of Lions clubs across the country, across Michigan, and thank you very, very much for listening and having me here today. So what kinds of questions could I answer for you today about the All-State Band? Yes, please.
So I know you're marketing this way to find students to play. You let all the high schools know?
How do we let the high schools know about us? Good old fashioned post office. We have another campaign a mailing campaign of flyers that specifically talk about the Orlando trip, things that they're gonna do, but push everybody to the website, everybody meaning the students. We print the website, we also put the QR code up there because everything with the kids stay, you know, exactly. Take them to our website so they have more information, but we do an actual mailing to about 50% of the high schools in Michigan. Does that help? Yeah, right.
Are there similar bands in other states?
Similar bands in other states, very good question. To our knowledge, there existed 5 at one time. Because of COVID, we're not 100% sure about other ones, but there is a very large one that exists down in Mississippi. They're very, very large. They traveled to Australia with like 150 musicians and 50 staff people last year. The thing about Mississippi is they come for the parade, they do one other performance, and then they go home. They don't do service work, they don't do service performances, and our board of directors and our directors find it almost required for us to do service projects and or service performances. That's the reason that we exist, to share that model. There is another one out in Pennsylvania. Nice group of people out there. They only travel domestically. So we'll be sure to see them in Orlando, I'm sure, now that there's a switch. Well, I shan't say sure because they've only got 9 months to plan, but Gary, help me with where the other two were from. One was out west.
Georgia also?
There could have been Georgia, not recently, not to my knowledge, but at one time there was a total of 5. And they were all from the United States. Yeah. Yes, Kelly.
The time commitment students, is it just for the trip only, or is it like a practice every month? or-
Excellent question. The time commitment for the students, we actually have 3 rehearsals before we go. There's a date in January, a date in March, a date in May, and then we put band camp 3 days prior to our trip. We actually leave for the trip from band camp. At the end of band camp, we have a friends and family show. Mom and dad could come listen, hear the music that the kids are gonna perform, swap out the laundry, and then we take off immediately from camp. So they're very good question. 3 all-day rehearsals, January, March, and May. Yep. Yes.
How many members are in the band now? And what's normal? What you strive for a certain number?
Normal's an interesting phrase post-COVID. Right now, to Boston, I think we took 39, to Australia, we took 45, and we're hoping to build that up into the 60s or 70s this year. Historically, in years past, we've had up to 125 kids in the band. And as you can imagine, the more students that we have, the richer the sound, the fuller the sound that we have at our performances. But I have to hand it to our directors. They do amazing things, even with 39 musicians and 45. So our goal for this year is mid-60s. Yep. Other questions?
With the convention being July 13th, when do you think you would leave?
Right now, we're looking at traveling. We're not exactly sure when the parade is, because the 13th is like a Friday or something. We just got word of when the parade was, so we build our itinerary around the parade. So probably 4 to 5 days before the parade, and then we'll take 3 days getting home. I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, but we're busing down and gonna come on the way back, so we can make some nice quality stops on the way down. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we're gonna stop in Nashville, see the real good stuff in Nashville, and then do the service project in Asheville, North Carolina, and then performances in Disney World, 2 days there, because it's it's required a minimum of 2 days, and then we'll see what else happens around Orlando. Awesome. Yes, Brett.
Some of the service projects that have been done, like, what kind of service projects do the kids do?
We incorporate service projects with music. In other words, well, in Mexico, oh, I just realized this, we're gonna miss a beautiful opportunity to interact with kids at an orphanage. And when we say a service project, we would bring toys down. We would bring some toys, we would bring some plastic instruments. The kids are allowed to come up and touch the instruments and try to blow through the trumpet, play the drums. We're very interactive with them as well. Some of these kids have never seen musical instruments before, so we do a little bit of education along that way. Next year, like we said, whatever the Lions Club in North Carolina need us to do, just as bodies to be there, sort clothes, sort supplies, whatever we need to do, et cetera, et cetera. But historically, it's been through music, through interacting with kids in the schools or in the orphanages.
Didn't you go to a hospital in Melbourne?
We did. We went to a children's hospital as well, interacting with the kids there. Yep. Well, good. Well, thank you for all your questions. Okay, Gary.
How many performances do the kids do?
There's one in every crowd. How many performances do the kids do on a trip,
In that trip?
on the tour? Boston, I believe they did 6, and when we were in Australia, we did 8. Yep. So their lips are shot by the end of the tour, but you know what? Like we said, that's why you're here. And these kids memorize the music, and by the end of the trip, it's embedded in their brains for life. So if we pulled them in now, they'd be able to play their part. Well, again, thank you so much for your attention and for having me here.
I don't know if it's still working. I think the screen went away, but it's, if people want to donate or anything, it's lionsmiband.org, lionsmiband.org, if you want to look that up.
Thank you.
And, here, thank you, Deb. Thank you for what you're doing, and, in case you don't already
Thank you, I don't actually. Thank you very much.
Okay, with that, the next lunch meeting is Tuesday, November 5th, election day. I think we purposely have an apolitical speaker that day. I'm not positive on that. But anyway, meeting adjourned.